I mean, I'm sure you've tasted it all, seen it all. Is there ever been like a meal where you're like, I can't eat this, I have to spit this out, like how they do like in wine tasting and things like that? Or do you always like force yourself to eat it?
I don't think we have to be forced. That's the first thing. I think season 1, 2, 3, there were a few things along the way, but that was before we had the level of talent. You know, it's always been about professional chefs, but the first few seasons, we were really figuring out the formula. And from then on, it's very rare to get bad food. Remember, these are not home cooks who are like trying to be chefs or think it would be cool to be chefs or don't know how to cook and we are teaching them. They are professionals at the highest level. And so these days, for the last several seasons, but certainly this season's no exception, it's not about eliminating the worst dish every episode. It's always figuring out, and sometimes that makes our job really hard, which is the least best dish. Because the food is always so good, like it's at a certain standard. We don't spit things out. Things are rarely like egregiously wrong at this point because they're really talented.
With the exception of a couple of challenges, I mean, it's usually not that bad. Of course, if they're small, we take a few bites and move on. But no, it hasn't been that bad. But occasionally, especially early in the season, we have to taste through 14, 15, 16 dishes. It's a lot of food.
It's a lot of food. What about you?
I think the only time I had, not even, I wouldn't say trouble, but the most full I felt where I was just like, I think I need to take a nap and sit down was after the poutine quickfire. I was like, I got like, it was all starch, a cheese, and a sauce. And you're just like, okay.
Oh, right.
And also because you want to eat it all, you can take like 3 bites of 15 poutines. Like that's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's when it happens more when you're eating a lot of the same, because usually every dish is so completely different, right? It's not such a specific challenge. And so we're tasting a range of things and we don't get fatigue, from the food that way.
Is it true though that you had your best meal ever on Top Chef this season?
I think best meal, I mean, best particular dish, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.